John McCain, he flies in after brain surgery. He gets a huge amount of applause. Do we have that video? Here, okay, here, play this. Is it? Oh, okay. No, so he gets huge amount of applause from his Senate colleagues, which I have sort of mixed feelings about. Okay, he's sick, you applaud him, but he comes back. The reason for him coming back was so gratuitous. And so then he votes for the motion to proceed and says, I'm not going to vote for the underlying bill, but that he feels it's important. There's debate, et cetera, et cetera. And then he goes on, delivers a 15-minute, highly self-righteous, sanctimonious speech. Here's a clip of it, okay?
And on our nobility. It accounts for our imperfections and gives us an order to our individual strivings that has helped make ours the most powerful and prosperous society on earth. It is our responsibility to preserve that, and even when it requires us to do something less satisfying than winning, even when we must give a little to get a little, even when our efforts manage just 3 yards in a cloud of dust while critics on both sides denounce us for timidity, for our failure to triumph. I hope we can again rely on humility, on our need to cooperate, on our dependence on each other, to learn how to trust each other again, and by so doing better, serve the people who elected us. Stop listening to the bombastic loudmouths on the radio and television and the internet. To hell with them. They don't want anything done for the public good. Our incapacity is their livelihood. Let's trust each other. Let's return to regular order. We've been spinning our wheels on too many important issues.
All right, stop. I don't even need to hear any more of this. Okay, no, hold on, listen. So, first off, when he says regular order, what he's talking about is they never used to have these motion to proceeds. Because it used to be just a voice vote or just, you know, everybody, it was never questioned. Of course, you're going to proceed to the bill, you're going to debate it. This was, for all intents and purposes, a relatively new, I mean, and it would happen occasionally, but very, very rarely. To the extent that regular order no longer exists, it's because during the Obama administration, Mitch McConnell basically innovated the idea that every single bill would be filibustered. Every single bill. So every single bill had to go through this. You remember all those times that John McCain complained about it then? It's not because you don't have a good memory. It's because he never did it. Speaking of not listening to the sort of the margins, right? The critics on their margins and the people on the radio, 2 words, Sarah Palin. There is no Donald Trump without Sarah Palin being elevated because she lowered the standards for everything. Don't make it all about winning, in parentheses, in quotes. John McCain picked Sarah Palin because he thought that was his only chance to win. He didn't give a crap that she was an idiot. He didn't give a crap that she was dangerous, really dangerous. Like a threat to the country. I mean, I don't know what would happen if something happened to John McCain if he was president and Sarah Palin became president. I imagine in some respects it might look very similar to what's going on with Donald Trump. Maybe it would be worse. Because she would be out there doing what Trump is doing, but there would be people probably who had a more specific agenda. Who knows? But he opened this door. And now the idea that he's going to be self-righteous about it is just absurd. And then just to put a little cherry on top, that bill that he said he wouldn't vote for, 4 hours after he gave that speech, he voted for that bill.
What's his entire career?
Oh,
He
yeah.
never actually,
I mean,
he is-
listen, none of this is going to come to a surprise to anybody who listens to the show or has been listening to the show for any extended period of time. But this is who that guy is.
he's a conventional right-wing corporate Republican who knows how to give provocative quotes and play sanctimonious for idiots on cable news who praised that same speech.
I was going to say,
it was unbelievable.
The other thing that's exposed is just sort of the vacuousness of what we used to call high broderism, after David Broder, who's no longer with us, God bless. But this idea that like this Washington Beltway perspective, where there's some notion of like it's important. I mean, I think there was even some senator who said maybe it was Blumenthal. It's like, his vote's not as important as his speech. Bull crap. Nobody's listening to John McCain in his caucus anyways.
That's a shockingly
Because
stupid
he
comment.
opened the door to this stuff. So, F John McCain, and thank you for your service. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So, if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos